Euro dollar. Okay, Euro USD. Think we got our setup for the month now. So I drew this out, and it worked out pretty good actually. So, but we'll delete these now. Oh, not that one. That one's still good. So yeah, no trade setup because price broke this zone here, and actually made a higher high. But I think it's switching directions now. So let me put it back on the daily here. Let's see what we're looking at. So we had a couple areas here that we're going to target. Then the price obviously has to break. But I mean, Euro USD is still bullish. We got to keep that in mind. Price is above this moving average. It did make a new high, you know, mid-June. So, or sorry, mid-July. So got to keep that in mind. But on a monthly time frame, you know, 110.5 seems to be kind of the high for the month. It's had all month. It's had 2 weeks, and it can't break above it. You've seen Thursday here, price basically. This kind of what, you know, solidified my reasoning here. So price came in all the way up to, you know, 110.5, touched all these prices, completely rejected. So it decided, okay, we're going to buy this all the way up and just see where it lands. Nope, completely, you know, rejected all these prices. And then Friday's close, you know, bearish engulfing, right? So showing us that, like, okay, as of August, I mean, price does not want to go up. It's had 2 weeks to break above this area, has not done it. So we're going down. And so I think there's some good momentum coming into this area that'll probably get broken. And then, I mean, the monthly range for this is about 400 pips. So if 110.5 is our high for the month, then 106.5 is our low. So there has been some strength on the dollar recently, so it is the dollar's pushing up, which would push this down. Plus on the other euro pairs, I see the momentum dying off and the euro selling off. So I mean, those kind of all align and correlate. So I do think this could break low, and I think it could go towards 106.5, to be honest. You know, it would have to break this area first, and like, as far as an entry, my first main, you know, entry would be this 110.17 area, what's highlighted here. But I mean, there is an area here now which is considered what I think may have happened is this would have been your previous area of liquidity for the sellers, and then I think it hasn't created a new one yet, but I think it will, and I think it might be really close to this area here. We'll just have to see how it plays out, but I'm going to keep this here in mind because I think that this is valid. I think that there's some significance here. And the really cool thing about this is that it made a lower low. So right here, you know, came up, broke down, came up, broke down. So you got a lower low here on this 4 hour. And so I like that. I mean, that shows me that bear structure is setting in for sure. And the main thing here is that price is below this 4 hour moving average. So you can see it was above for a long time, broke, came below, retested, came lower, broke above, broke below. Even these candles kind of retested it, broke lower, and then broke above one more time here until finally breaking down again, setting in that lower low. So now we'll see if price can remain below this 4 hour moving average. And if it does, then I mean, we're definitely looking at some short positions to finish off the month. You got price below this 1 hour moving average as well. So this is actually really nice price action. So you can see right here, there's an area here. So one of these areas is most likely where price will come up to and then sell off again. So I like this area better, especially because if you look, and I can't even make this up, I drew it without even looking, 110 here, you know, that's a perfect area, the 1.1, 110, whatever you want to call it, right here. So I mean, that is most likely where price will go, and that's where I'm looking to sell it. So 110, 110, 110. So this is my area of entry at 110, and then I would set my stop below here. I'm going to see, actually, I'm going to set an alert for this line here, because once price hits 110, if it starts rejecting, then I'm selling this, and I'm confident. And I'll just target the monthly range, which is 400 pips, and that's all the way down to 106.5. I I think it's got the momentum. It'll break these zones, and then by the time it breaks this zone here, it'll probably be meeting this moving average. And if it breaks this moving average, then we're looking for some bearish movement, at least for the next little bit. This might be due for a pullback. You can see these last 4 weeks have been bearish. Last week, this week that just closed specifically, like super bearish. And originally the week prior it did reject here, but then the next week, the following week, this week that just closed, just completely filled those wicks. So yeah, it could definitely be going down. You can see it on this weekly moving average. Price kind of tested it and then pulled back now and is remaining below it. So and if you look on a monthly time frame, this is huge. So you got last month, which was came all the way up to almost 113, and then completely rejected all the way back down to 110. So on a monthly time frame, this doesn't really close above 110, and I don't think it's going to this month as well. So I think it's going to head lower. I think it's going to head to 106.5. So that's what I'm going to keep in mind. That's what I'm hopeful for. So if price comes back up to 110, I'm shorting this. If it breaks this area without coming back up to 110, then I'll look for another position. There could be an area of new liquidity, which is actually right here. So what we could also be looking for is price just to come up to 109.80, not even quite 110. So, but that's something I'll consider later. Right now, I'm sticking to 110 as my entry area, and looking to short this all the way to 106.5. Well, I think once it breaks this area here, it's got a lot more momentum. It'll just keep falling, and yeah, complete that monthly range of 400 pips. So that is what I expect from Euro USD.